r/ask Reddit. What is cool in the eyes of most high schoolers but is actually cringe? Most high schoolers. Yup, the most awkward demographic that uses grunts to communicate. Tim Taylor would be proud. Adults who hang out with them. There was this one guy in his 20s who would play UGR with us and it was awesome. But eventually he stopped doing it. He was never weird or anything but kind. Growing up to me was never a step through the gate type of thingamo. I liked some adult things pretty quick and had trouble giving up some youthful things. The guy probably just liked playing UGR with people who liked playing UGR the same way he did and they just happened to be kids. It's weird in the sense that you don't see it often, but not weird when you think that everyone takes some time to grow out of things. Telling people how mature you are. And using mature language to sound smart. Anyone can string together a bunch of big words. Doesn't make you intelligent. That affects me peripherally. Being popular for the wrong reasons. As soon as you graduate that shit starts over. Better not to rely on being popular and prepare. Best advice my sister who graduated 2 years ahead of me gave me my senior year was you are not going to talk to 99% of the people in your class ever again after you graduate. It took me a bit to internalize it as I was in denial at first. But as the year went on I slowly realized it was true and that I was better off just hanging out with the people I wanted to keep as friends post high school. And to this day, 15 plus years after high school, it still holds true that I talk with exactly one person, my best friend, from my high school. Sometimes this is true, it was for me, but my husband has a group of 20 friends that have been friends since middle school and one guy he's been friends with since he was 6. Some people just roll really lucky friend stats early on. Discussing sex loudly with the purpose of having random strangers hear it as if that somehow is a sign of maturity. Yes, we regularly have high school girls rotate into our daycare for volunteer work or class. They love loudly talking about sex. I'm pretty sure most if not all are virgins as well. But they're bragging and acting proud that they're not. It doesn't ducking matter. You're not mature because you got laid. You're mature because you accept the giant teddy bear with a strap on is the best action you'll get this month. So, like, I was having sex with this guy last weekend, in a very sexual way, and he didn't know what he was doing. When he was having sex, he didn't pull my hair or slap my butt once, you know, like, when us adults have sex, and stuff. Could say quite a few, but the best is probably, not caring. Being genuine even to the point of seeming uncool is an amazing personality trait in adulthood that some don't get back until they are parents. As a parent of teens, I agree. I want to add that this can go too far the other way as well. No one virtue signals quite as loudly as some high schoolers. It's like a competition to see who cares the most. Their hearts may be in the right place, and I do believe they'll get there someday. But damn, the cause heads make me tired. You're a parent of teens. When aren't you tired? Being rude to teachers. Every person who I know who was rebellious in school cringes hard when they think about the shit they said to teachers. I wrote a letter of apology to one of my teachers when I was about 40. He was just starting out in his teaching career and taught an unusual class. For our school anyway, called oceanography. I was a surfer, and all my friends were surfers. I have no idea what we thought the class would be about. Wave action, I guess. But of course it was much more scientific than that and much more boring. To me. So we were not good students and made life difficult for him. I got an F. The only grade I deserved. The school principal hated us, and it infuriated him that we just did not gaff about school. Open bracket. The "you're going to wind up digging ditches" vibe was palpable, and also true, as I actually did dig ditches for a plumbing company for a while. But later in life, after scores of dead-end jobs, after the Marine Corps, after welding school and machinist school and nursing school, I wrote him a letter of apology. He was touched, I think. But at first I don't think he remembered me. I'm not surprised. Eventually, though, he realized who I was and I'm ashamed to say I think he thought that maybe my apology was some kind of ruse. Some kind of trick. I guess my behavior in school was worse than I'd remembered. To all you teachers out there who are suffering through some jackass kid's bad behavior, Try to remember that he might not be a jackass forever, and someday he may apologize for the way he has behaved in your class. And for you kids that hate school and are ducking around, try to remember that you don't know everything, and that school wasn't invented just to torture you and make life unbearable. It actually has a purpose, to prepare you for adult life. I'm a middle and high school teacher. Don't worry, we don't hold it against you. We know you're adolescents. Honestly, teenagers can be really funny at times, which is why I like working with them. I wouldn't say that this applies to the majority, but it does apply to a pretty decent amount at my school. Saying slurs and barking at people they find weird. They really think it's peak comedy. And screaming for no reason. Open bracket. It's haunt season. Nothing worse than being in a haunt with a bunch of high school kids being overly dramatic. What is haunt season being in a haunt? Being dongs to the teacher who just tries to do his/her job. I'm a teacher. I get far too many who are dongs and are then shocked when their reports reflect this. It's just a prank, bro. No, you're being an a-hole. I like to use the pie in the face test. Does it cause the person more inconvenience than a pie in the face? Under normal circumstances, if yes, then it's not a prank, it's a crime. Moaning in the middle of the class. Sometimes in my pre-algebra class these kids like to moan in the hallways and people are laughing, and it's like, how in any way, shape or form is that funny? So x times 1. 48 you are. Worrying what other people think. The concept of cool in the first place. My brother and I, in our early 30s, were watching a group of teenagers trying so hard to put on this cool, unemotional facade at Disneyland while everyone else around them just enjoyed themselves, and we were laughing to ourselves that teenagers are so afraid of displaying emotion or passion and nobody else cares. But we all went through it, and we all reached the realization that it's more fun to just enjoy ourselves. In high school my friends and I saw a cute cat, and we were all talking about how cute it was, except for one who said it's lame to say cute. When we asked why and what he would say instead, he said to call it cool. I still don't get it. You reminded me of an exchange I had in school around 2006, right around the time Nintendo revealed the Wii. Up till then it was known as the Revolution, and I think most everyone I knew in school hated the name. One kid in my class insisted that you continue to call it Revolution, and would barge into conversations in order to correct people. LOL. Driving like an idiot having a loud car. When I was 16 I used to drive like Ace Ventura with my head out the window. I only lived a couple miles from the school so it wasn't a big deal, but it was dumb as hell. A couple girls told me they saw me driving like that one day and they thought it was funny. So I accomplished what I set out to do, I guess. Driving like an idiot. Agreed. That's not only cringe but dangerous as well. Vaping. I used to think I was better than others because of my taste in music. The thought makes me want to puke. Bro, don't make me think about what I twerp I was. TikTok bullshit. Was 100% expecting this answer. LOL. Are you even a real Redditor if you don't let everyone know how much you hate TikTok? Pretty much the whole persona they play to fit in. You'll eventually grow out of it. The question is just when. Bullying, for example. That thing where they comment on people's posts and then claim to just be saying oh. Everyone knows it's not innocent. It's done with the purpose of making the poster feel insecure or dumb. Just things that can be played off as small, but that they know will have a bigger impact. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? I really don't know how to explain this. Yes, my little brother who is 15 makes me want to murder him. He does thing in conversation and won't stop it where he says what, and then you repeat yourself so he yells ever, in your face. And he does that with who? Asked, and a few others. He thinks it's hilarious and it's just rude and annoying. And it is small, but goddamn just shut up. My 15-year-old sister also does that. It bothers me a bit less because we are siblings. But you're right, it's still so rude and annoying. It's bad enough for siblings. So I can't imagine doing that shit to random people and feeling good about it. Bragging about how much weed you smoke or how much you drink. The concept of cool. I'm in high school and the concept of cool doesn't exist where I go. Maybe you're just too cool for school. Talking back to teachers and laughing in their faces. Bullying others. Smoking and drinking and then bragging about it. Acting alter when they are just following the trend and not really belong there. Following a major trend to feel different rebellious cool is peak irony. Hickeys or so I've been told. I actually have no issue with them just so long as they're hidden. Because nothing is cooler than walking into your 8 AM class looking like your neck lost a fight with an angry octopus. Doing things to gain other people's approval. Seriously, when you grow up and stop giving a duck about other people's opinions, life is so much better. Easier said than done. Being edgy and offensive just for the sake of it. Yep, we get it. You think that mocking dead people or posting racist, sexist stuff on social media makes you a tough edgelord not to be ducked with. No, it just makes you look like a complete trihut. And they're most likely going to regret those posts in about 5 years. This you bro is a thing. I'm so waiting for the day that someone just fucking breaks my brother's nose because he thinks it's so edgy and cool to scream slurs into his headset while playing video games. And he says racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic SHT all day. He's gotten in trouble a few times but hardly. The only time getting in trouble actually shut him up. It only shut him up for a few months. In middle school when he and his friends were saying racist crap as they do in the cafeteria and a black girl nearby overheard this and started crying and told on them and he and his buddies got yelled at and their parents called. And the word spread of what they said and suddenly oh yay being racist isn't cool. Yay one day he came home crying with half a peanut butter side of a PB&J smashed in his hair and you know what, he deserved it. But no, he seems to have only gotten worse through high school. He's in 10th grade now. Someone please break my brother's nose, he clearly isn't learning. Vaping. I started when I was a stupid 16-year-old because I thought it looked fun and cool. 7 years later it's not fun or cool anymore when I try to quit and get so much anxiety and so irritable to the point where I fantasize about punching someone in the back of the head because they are taking too long to check out at the store. Literally, if I had a time machine and could only go back in time once, I'd probably go back and beat the shit out of 16-year-old me for ever starting any form of nicotine. Making fun of people. Like you're not funny, you're annoying and childish. Gossip at someone else's expense. Using slang terms like the fuzz with reference to police or bread for money. Also, wearing bell-bottom trousers and beads. Open bracket. Note, I've been away from the high school scene for a while. So take this with a grain of salt, as it may be somewhat dated. Whoa, you're behind the times. Daddy-o, none of the hip cats are talking that kind of jive anymore. Are you hip to the jive? Can you dig what I'm throwing down? I knew that you could. Slide me some skin soul brother. Being loud and obnoxious everywhere they go. Like do no one thinks you or your friends are cool over there yelling penis and moaning cause you think it's funny. Calling things cringe. Damn, that hurt. The lifestyle of being young and reckless. Having an addiction to drugs is not cool. Being in codependent relationships is not cool. Having sex in bathroom stalls and on a couch stored behind the theater stage is not cool. It's just gross. Skipping class is not cool. I don't even know why people skipped classes at my high school. There was literally nothing to do but loiter in a bathroom. Just enjoy your time not paying bills and be as self-centered for as long as you can. Jesus. Skip class to loiter in bathrooms? When I skipped class I went to a friend's place and we would buy pizza and watch movies. Obviously still not cool. Which wasn't the point to be fair. But I had a nice time. Especially compared to hanging out in a school bathroom. Why is it not cool though? Wasn't it really fun at the time? You have to think of cool in the perspective that it is high school-like. Calling millennials any older generation cringe. They're also going to get old and seem cringe to the kids one day. It's the cycle of life. I used to call my parents ancient dinosaurs. Then a few months ago I had to explain to my teenager what a 35mm film camera was and I called my mom up after and said I think I just joined the ancient dinosaur club. Driving drunk. Denim jeans and leather jackets. With oil slick hair. And all the singing and dancing they do. Tell me more. Drugs not really cringe. Just sad. No one is invincible. Yeah, it's terrible that it's deemed as cool. Crying on TikTok. Or any kind of dancing on TikTok to something completely inappropriate. Like a funeral or someone in a hospital bed fighting for their life. pretending to have some type of disorder. Like that makes them special. Like somehow everyone has multiple personalities now. One of the rarest disorders of its kind, and everyone and their cousin suffers from it. Blasting loud music in buses and public places. That one like tick-tock haircut that guys get where they have like no hair on the sides and then too much hair on top. No shade, it's just douchy. Also known as the sideshow bob. The mighty broccoli head says its signature call. Bruh. Cliques. My neighbor is 60 and she still forms cliques and gaslights friends. As a person who is no longer in high school, any attempt to claim that I know what high schoolers actually find cool could only be cringe. Older you get, the more you realize the one truly cool thing is the air conditioner. Disrespecting other people for no reason. I'm actually still in high school and I find it ducking annoying as hell when freshmen yell penis. Because of course playing the penis game where you see who can yell penis louder is peak ducking comedy apparently. Also being unnecessarily homophobic, racist, sexist, transphobic, and just needy dirtbags in general. Jesus ducking Christ. TikTok. Boy perms. Filming instead of helping. Drugs, unprotected sex, and fighting in Ali's waterways. I went to high school in a number of places, especially New Mexico, and several kids thought it was cool to fight and often have sex in hard to reach places like flood channels, and if someone needed help, it would be easy to slip and get hurt and even get impaled by something like glass or syringes, as they were often treated like waste bins. Yelling let's go. The middle schoolers at my gym vaping unicorn sugar cutting vape juice. Insult humor is the primary way of interacting with your friends. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.